So here's a little project I'm doing. I am edging, taking the sod out. I have this little bit to go. And this may not be the final shape, but it's the start. And I wanted to show you how this edger worked. So let me set you over here and I will give you a little demonstration. So this tool is a little different than what you see other tools for edgers. You'll find the ones that are rounded like this, and they might have like more of a stepping area on it. But this one is made to take the sod completely out. So I'm going to show you how this particular one works. So I already made my lines going across here by just pushing it in and then lifting a little. And then what I do is I come around on the part where I've already cut and I will slide it underneath. And because this has a curve in it, it slides underneath. Can you see it moving there in the grass? It slides under. You pull it back out and you go where you have to cut the lawn. And you keep doing that until you have all the lawn cut that you want. Then you get this way and you slide it under, going all the way back behind that one limb, and you just make sure you got it all loose. I'm going to do one more. Slide it through, and I usually do a piece that I can handle. So there's that, and then I use this to cut along like this. Oop. And I'm going to try not to cut my limb there, this limb here, so just be careful. And I'll set this to the side. I'll put it in the picture so you can kind of see how it has an angle. Usually you find them straight, but this one is actually a sod and cutter edger. So then you have your sod removed and it comes out like that. And sometimes it's a little thick. You can just take off some of the extra dirt and leave it behind, or you can just get more dirt to fill in your area. But that's pretty much a sod cutter that I have. I'll come over here and push in. Make sure it's loose. All loose, so. And then there, it's all done. So it's pretty easy, especially I think if your ground is moist. Of course it makes the sod heavier, but see, they're all nice and clean. All ready for doing other things. And the nice thing about it is you can use that sod in other places in your yard. So anyhow, there's the first step that I'm doing right now. So this is what you might find in a store, is a piece like this with a rounded, no curve on the handle here. And mine is worn out, it's more straight, but we've sharpened it with a grinder. But you see, you have more of the tops on it like this, so that you can step on a little easier. And that's usually what people use right here to pre-edge. And then a lot of people, when they're done this particular thing, like by a sidewalk, you can then use those electric edgers. But anyhow, this is just similar, the same thing. You step, of course I already cut here, and you lift and push your dirt in. And you just go like that all the way around. And it gives you a really nice edge. Now I got a big root here from my old tree that is a little bit thick. So that's giving me a little problem right there. That's a pretty good sized one too. A dead root when we had our big tree behind us. Oh, excuse me, my nose is running. Oh, it's just humid here, and I don't know what's in the air, but it's getting me. Probably ragweed. Anyway, so that's how you do the edging, and I'm going to continue just doing that around here now. Well, I just can continue with this one, but just to show you, because I'm not even sure if you can buy this particular one. Can you see how curved that is? Yeah. Anyway, but you can run solders. I have never done it, but you can. So I'm just gonna continue my edge, make it nice. So doing it this way, you can also maintain your edge by constantly weed whacking this way with your weed whacker, and it'll keep that edge nice and clean. That's kind of how I originally did this, and the edge has been kept pretty nice. It's not weed whacked today. It's grown for a couple of days, so it's not quite as crisp. But that's kind of how it looks. So my plan is to make this smooth here and put these bricks in so that they're, a little lower. And then I probably will edge a little bit more on this side, or I'll set them a little bit more in. But right now I have to clean that out, and I'm probably going to put like a natural stone on either end and maybe on this side to kind of make it blend in with the other parts of the pond. Like you see, like a natural stone here, just to kind of bring a little bit of the natural element and kind of tie all this area in and make it look good. So here is my Proven Winners sugar tip Rose of Sharon that I'm going to put here. So she's in this huge tub, but she's really tiny, and I wonder if she was like up potted and then went out to sail and she never grew for some reason. So we're going to see how her root system is in here. We've got a lot of peat moss around her as well, and I don't feel any roots in here yet, which is not a good sign. So I don't know how much she's filled in. She doesn't feel like she's in here at all. I think they just up potted her. I'm going to try to pull her out. I can feel roots in there, but nothing on the sides. She really shouldn't have been sold. Of course, I got a really good discount on her. She really shouldn't have been sold. Now I'm starting to see a few surface roots, not many. So I didn't dig the hole too big. I'm gonna put some biotone in there and just sprinkle it around everywhere, and then hopefully it will get on her roots wherever she is. There we go. So let's see how she comes out. Give her a little push. She just doesn't feel like she's in this pot all the way. Turn her upside down. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, see, she just broke apart. She really shouldn't have been sold. I hate it when places do this. Because then when you try to plant her, this is what happens. Plus, she's all in peat moss. It doesn't look like peat moss, maybe to you, but it's really peaty. So I try to mix some of this, my native soil in here a little bit. And get her mixed in with some of the other dirt she had. Oh gosh, she's really, really bad for planting. Oy, oy, oy. Where's her bottom? Where is it? Okay. I would rather have her a little high because the pond does drain this way a little bit. So anyway, let's hope for the best for her. Here. Yeah, it's like really spongy when you push on her. I hate that. I don't like that soil. I don't know why. If they just are having a hard time getting soil sometimes, but this is just, we'll see if she survives the winter. We shall see. Anyhow, she got that biotone that will help her root stimulation, and since I've had her, she has grown from about here to here, so I don't know, about 5 inches she's grown. So let's hope she grows there. Anyway, now I got to do a little bit more finessing in here and I got a few other perennials that can divide, and I might put in here to fill this up a little. And so that is that for now. It's looking pretty good. My glove off and show you from a distance. There it is. Looks pretty good. Let's go walk way over here. So there we go. Looks better. The spots in my lawn is from my female dog, Annie. She does that. I really need to get some stuff in her water bowl, so maybe it'll counteract that. Anyway, so what do you think? Looks better, huh? I might pull this one out sometime when I find the right rock and kind of incorporate maybe a couple 3 rocks here, but I'm not sure. Right now it's fine. And I have to probably always weed whack in this corner. When you make your lines, you could take your lawnmower, like take a hose, put it where you want it, and then take your lawnmower, not running, and just glide your lawnmower along and see if your lawnmower cuts really nice. And that'll give you another idea if you need to make your bed a little bit out further, or stick out a little bit. But I do a lot of weed whacking, and I'll probably just nip that, or maybe I'll put a little rock in here to give this a little more glide, and or I might just give it a little tweak. So, but for now, the plants are in some good spots. So on to the next thing. So I was trying to show you, but the camera wasn't angled enough. But this pole here is the one I was talking about. This is the one we use for our sail. We put another PVC that's a little smaller size, and we have a bolt that goes through here, and it secures it. And then it goes up high like this, and has another bolt, and then we can tie from a T-post there and the post that's in the ground right here to here. It's a triangle, and it would shade this. I think I have a picture. I find it, I can put it up. But that's one way of shading it. But we're starting to get more lily pads, so things are getting better. But here is a little bit from here, the distance. Now I took this one. It was not doing well in its spot. It was too shady. That it was under that tree there, and that tree's grown big enough now that it's pretty shady there. So I put it here. It should look healthier next year if it survives the winter. This was just a teeny little guy. That was a seedling from these. And these you can divide. They're liliums. And they divide really well, like this one right here, real quick. I divided this one in half. And it's that one over there. See how big that got just in 1 year? So if you divide it in the spring, you can start dividing your perennials, and you'll have more and more and more. So, anyway. So anyhow, this is from a distance. You can see it hides the poles a little bit. It's the same variety as this one, and we've had this one for quite a while, and it's getting quite nice and tall. It hides the mechanics of the pond here from viewing when we're sitting in our 1 chairs, but then it's looking really good. I have to get another bag of mulch to finish it. It really only needs like a half bag, because this is almost a half bag right here already. So anyhow, and then this is a little, poor little echinacea. I thought I'd try him here. He didn't have many roots when I bought him as a trio. There's different colors, and this one isn't doing real well. I just left the color on here for now to show you. I'm going to cut this off so that it doesn't have any strength going into the blooms, and hopefully I put some biotone in there. Hopefully it'll help it. And then of course here's my Rose of Sharon, and I was trying to show you, but it was off camera, but it grew this much since I've had it from the store. So hopefully it will really take off now. Not too much growth, but filling out a little bit, and then next year hopefully it'll do even better. There's a stone here. I might try and find another little triangular stone to put in here, or a different stone, and my other stone there. I may try to put a stone in this area later on, but for now this works really well, because I just don't want to keep putting more money into this. You only have so much. but this is looking really good. This should shade. So this is, we're facing west right now. And so hopefully in the morning as this grows, this keeps shading and shading because it's supposed to get quite wide. So this may change as it grows. This is just a temporary type thing just so I can mow and trim around it. And anyway, so that is that. And I'm gonna get my trimmer out and I'm just gonna show you real quick how I trim around my yard. If you're interested in that, you can continue watching. So I'll be back with my pruner. Oh, I should also show you the wear barrel full of sod. It's about half full. Isn't that funny? And I also had a spot over here that wasn't growing. We had a tree here a long time ago. It was a Washington hawthorn with really bad thorns, and we just got rid of it. But this is a piece of the sod I put in here. So that hopefully will grow real nice there. And so that's what I mean. You can take your sod and you can put it on top of the dirt. Take your cutter and cut around it. Move the sod over, dig it out and put your sod back. And then if you have any dirt from taking it out, you can fill in the gaps around the edges. So anyhow, that's that. Now I'll go get my weed whacker and show you how I do this other stuff. Okay, so this is my Ryobi Easy Edger, and this one's nice. It has a pivot where you can push it in and turn it. Oh, I meant to get me between my legs. And it turns like this, so you can do up and down edging like this. And this is usually how I have my as you can see, I've done quite a bit. Pretty dirty. But this is how I usually edge my lawn. So it has that nice crisp edge and it keeps it that way. So let me show you. And then sometimes I'll just do a little bit. Like that. So that makes a nice crisp edge. See how it looks compared to over there? And that's really not that long ago I did that. Maybe like I say 3 days ago I think I edged this, or jeepers, I can't even remember. But anyway, it was not too long ago. So I do that, and I also will do it on areas like this. So in my new area here, I'll be coming along and doing it like that, and I'll be very careful not to get in the pond. And then when I get to a wall, I even do it this way, because that makes a line that cuts roots that might try to come into your wall. And you do it like that, and that will cut the roots trying to go in that way. And then of course, I try to always lean it this way, so when this is spinning, it's shooting grass away from the pond. And I try to do it on windy days when the wind is, heading that way. But it does, you can see it's in there now. The filter will get it, but and that will keep these edges looking really nice and clean. So anyhow, that's how I keep the edges nice and trimmed in my yard. Now I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you like an area that needs some work. Okay, so this is an area that kind of needs to be re-edged. So when I come along with my weed whacker, see how that looks pretty clean? I guess this isn't an area that needs it as bad for cutting, but if this area is getting to a point where it's too close to the rocks, you could take that edger that I used with the half moon shaped edge, and you can clean that area up right in here. You can come in here with the edger and edge this, take the dirt and then lift it up. Sometimes it sticks to the end of the edger, and you can take that up and then you put it in your container or maybe in your garden somewhere where you need some dirt. But this is what I do if this is starting to have a problem, or I do see the grass is starting to grow in between the rocks, I'll take my edger and take it in there, lift it, loosen it, and then I'll pull it away, or I'll have to move the rocks sometimes. So along here, I have some moss. Oops, I have some moss growing there on that rock. And you can see here it's a little hard for me to weed whack because I don't want to hit those. So usually I'll just weed whack in this direction. But I always try to go in a direction like this first, and then I will go all the way around again with the weed whacker like that. So that's how I kind of maintain the edges on my lawn. And over here, I've had this down for quite a while. This is similar bricks. This is just a little older style. They don't have exactly the same style anymore. So you can see how the line is staying pretty clean there. So let me weed whack that and I'll show you how crisp that can look. My husband just mowed the lawn today. See how nice that is? So you can see how nice that looks. See how nice and crisp that looks compared to, oops, sorry, over here, not so crisp and crisp. So that's what I do. Every time I mow, I do my lines, and or every other time, depending. And I just go along here and I go around here. My yard does not take long to cut. It takes about 25 minutes for the back and about another 20 minutes for the front. And that's about it, because I mean, there isn't a whole lot of lawn. And you know, that's it. And then we past this gate, we do own some lawn, but we don't do that. We cut it every third week if it needs it, and so that we don't worry about as much. And we do cut on the outside to kind of keep the weeds from our neighbors' empty lot over here at bay from coming and intruding on our fence line. So, and they don't mind. They know us, and so that's always good to get permission for that. But if you never see your neighbor, it may be one of those things that you might want to consider to keep that nice and clean. Anyway, that is a little bit about my edging. Over here on the black, I just edge that as well. I just get my edger, and after I'm done mowing, I don't usually do this one every time unless I feel like it. But it's the same thing. I'll do the cross and just go right along the edge, and that will keep it nice and neat. There, it's nice and neat. Let me go around and do this part. And that just keeps a nice edge on your tarp. So doesn't that look better? Alrighty, so, and then I also take a blower. That's another thing I do, is I blow the grass clippings out of the area. And I also am very careful when the grass has gone into seed, that you want to make sure anything that you put into your chips and stuff doesn't hopefully go in it, and you blow those grass clippings out with the seeds. So that's another tip I would say. So anyway, I think that's it for today. So that there is me edging, and then how I blew it out so that the edge is nice and clean. So you'll probably see maybe some people on YouTube that mow lawns. They always seem to do it that way. But anyhow, again, I say adieu. I hope you have a great day. Bye.